Hello Superset Maniacs and welcome back to my channel. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Haney are two of the greatest bodybuilders of all time, perhaps the very two greatest ones in many people's books. Comparing their physiques is kinda unfair, as in Haney's time bodybuilding was already evolving at a rapid pace due to increased knowledge in drugs and nutrition. However, here at Superset Man, we have created in Photoshop their Mass Monster versions. So these are two versions we're going to compare today, Mass Monster Arnold versus Mass Monster Haney. If you're curious to see how and why these versions were created, you can find in the description links to the videos where we explain everything there is to know. But long story short, these are their versions if they were competing nowadays. So without further ado, let's get to the poses. But before we begin, for those of you who are looking for anything else than entertaining, this might not be the video for you, as here we compare two photoshopped physiques, just for fun. And we begin with the front double biceps pose. Arnold is winning the guns department, as he would do even before any Photoshop work. Haney just did not have the genetics to go against Arnold at this department. However, he had the wide shoulders small waist ratio that makes him go against anyone in the front double biceps pose. Even though this enhanced version got some little enhancement at the waist department as well, his proportions remain unmatched, and counting the better wheels and the overall flow, I think it's safe to say that he beats the oak in this pose. Front lat spread, and Photoshop or not, Haney would always beat Arnold Schwarzenegger in this pose. Haney has the best front lat spread pose ever, together with Dorian Yates, mainly due to his crazy shoulder to waist ratio and great lat development. Haney wins this pose. Side chest, and we're looking at two majestic side chest poses here, both Arnold and Haney having unreal chest developments for their time periods, and not only. Haney looks to be in better condition, but I cannot go against Arnold in this pose, guys. Just look at that chest. Arnold also has the better biceps and the better lower body in this comparison, none of them excelling at the shoulder department though. Arnold wins this pose. Back double biceps, and Haney already had one of the best back double poses ever before any Photoshop. And I'm talking about upper body, of course. So naturally he's winning the back development against Arnie here. Lower body, they both got straighted glutes, something they never had and didn't need to have actually. Both of them have great calves, something nowadays bodybuilders seem to don't care about too much. And also both of them have pretty weak hamstrings for today's standards. Haney wins this pose mostly because of the upper body. Back lat spread, and just like we could have established in the last pose, it's safe to say that Arnold has a slight advantage downstairs, so let's check out the upper body. Haney had an incredible back lat spread mostly because of his impressive width, but I always thought his back looked washed out in this pose. It certainly isn't at the same level as his back double, at least in my opinion. In this comparison, I believe Arnold's back looks more complete, looking both big and detailed, at least more detailed than Haney's, and counting his lower body minimal advantages, well, I believe it's safe to say that Arnold has the overall advantage in this pose. Side triceps, and neither Arnold or Haney was very good in this pose. This certainly wasn't their best body part or the best pose. However, in this comparison, Arnold seems to be having the more impressive lateral head, the better lower body, and the more beautiful execution, so Arnold gets another point. Abs and thighs, Arnold had a 4-pack and a wide waist. Haney had a messed up 6-pack and a tight waist. At this department, I'm going with Haney. Their Mass Master thighs look impressive with Arnold presenting better cuts. Overall, for the better execution and better proportions, I'm going with Lee Haney in this pose. Most muscular, and this was never a pose that Arnold was not going to win against Lee Haney, regardless of Photoshop. Arnold just has the better tools for this pose, and I'm referring to his arms and shoulders because at the chest department, Haney is good as well. Mass Master Arnold wins the most muscular pose against Mass Master Haney. In conclusion, each of them have won 4 poses, making the final result a draw from this point of view. But we all know bodybuilding is not judged like that. We're not counting symmetry and posing rounds in these videos, we focus mainly on the comparison round, and in this case today, I believe that even though nobody won more poses than the other, overall Lee Haney looked more impressive. He's won his poses more decisively, he's in better conditioning, so Mass Master Haney beats Mass Master Arnold today. What do you guys think? Which one of these 2 Photoshop enhanced versions would have the edge in a real competition? Let me know in the comments below. Also like this video to support the channel, subscribe to stay updated, and as always, thank you guys and see you next time.